All right, everybody, at 6:15, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight as we discuss the Imperial Highway Green Infrastructure Project. Our co-host, Kevin, has a presentation that he's going to put up on the screen for everybody to see. Go ahead, Kevin. And thank you all so much for being here with us tonight. I'm Allison Arnold. I'm here on behalf of LA Sanitation and Environment. And tonight it's my pleasure to introduce two speakers that we have with us. First of all, we have Abby Austin. Abby is the Deputy District Director for Council District 11. And we also have joining us here Kevin Ho. Kevin is with LA Sanitation and Environment, and he is one of the engineers on the project. Before we get started, I do have a couple quick housekeeping items to review for everyone. This presentation is being recorded, and a video of it will be placed on the LA Sanitation YouTube channel following this event. A copy of the presentation will also be sent out via email to everyone who registered for this event online. And finally, after the presentation, we will be taking question and answers. So if you do think of any questions throughout the presentation, you're going to want to type those questions in using the Q&A button at the very bottom of your screen. So anytime you think of one throughout the presentation, feel free to open that Q&A panel and type in your questions. And at the end, those will be answered by our panelists, or the answers can also be typed into the Q&A feature. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Abby, who has a couple of remarks to say. Abby, take it away.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for attending. And again, apologies for the glitch, but very, very glad to have you here and to have this initial meeting. I'm Councilmember Mike Bonin's Deputy District Director, and I also cover Westchester, Playa del Rey, Playa Vista, and Ladera, all of which are very close to this potential project. So really excited to hear more about this project tonight. So for those who might have just signed up for this meeting and don't have a lot of background, this particular project would be funded by Measure W funds. And for those who don't know, Measure W was approved in 2018 by voters and created a parcel tax that would increase LA County's local water supply, improve water quality, and invest in making our communities greener and more livable. So this particular area that we are in here, close to Westchester, is part of the South Santa Monica Bay watershed, which receives $17.7 million in revenue from Measure W annually for stormwater projects like this. So right now in CD11, we already have one regionally funded Measure W project that is on La Cienega Boulevard in Ladera. And that project, again, is funded, and the design phase for that project, which will involve the community, will start at late fall. So this particular project that we're speaking about tonight is just a proposal, and the Bureau of Sanitation will be going and submitting that for funding at the end of July. So we're really excited to hear more about this project. The Safe Clean Water program hopes to improve water quality, increase local water supply, and enhance community beautification. And this particular stretch of Imperial Highway, if you've been down it, currently has medians that aren't super maintained and don't have any water infrastructure to deal with landscaping. And so, you know, citywide right now in LA County, our stormwater system was built 100 years ago with the intent of preventing flooding. And so a lot of our water goes out into the ocean untreated. And this is a really great opportunity for us to capture some of that water and make our community more resilient for climate change and the like. So thank you all so much for being here, and really excited to hear more from you, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Abby. We appreciate you being here with us as well. And then Kevin, you go ahead and take a hold of the presentation, and afterwards, again, if you have questions, make sure to type them in that box and we'll address them at the end of the presentation.
Okay, great. Thanks for the introduction. Just before moving on really quick, do you see the full screen of the presentation right now? Just confirming with Allison.
I can see it.
Okay.
We can see your speaker notes, Kevin.
Oh, and the speaker notes. Okay. let me hide the speaker notes. So thank you for the introduction. Kind of going over the agenda for today's meeting. First, I want to go over the general introduction and background for Safe Clean Water. Abby did a really good job on providing the background for Safe Clean Water and the different kind of funding sources. Next, we'll kind of go through the project overview of the project, some initial community feedback that we have used to incorporate features into our project, the layouts for where we plan to put some medium improvements, followed by some benefits to the community and what we're trying to achieve in the project, and then follow up at the end with the project schedule, next steps, and where we're trying to go moving forward. So for some background, the Safe Clean Water program is part of Measure W that was passed in November 2018. The program provides funding for all stormwater projects that helps to capture and clean trash, pollutants, and other things that would otherwise end up in the city's waterways. So like Abby mentioned before, the projects in the Safe Clean Water program follow three main goals to improve water quality, improve water supply, and to enhance the community investments and protect
Kevin,
public health.
can I interrupt you quickly? Can you maximize the window so it fills the screen? I think it got. I want everybody to make sure that they can see the presentation.
Sorry, maybe I'm okay. Slideshow. Is it showing my notes as well?
Yes, it is.
Sorry, do you know how to change this so that it doesn't show?
I honestly don't know. We can just go back to the other way. I just wanted to make sure that everyone can get the best view of the presentation possible. But there we go. That's perfect.
That work?
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you.
Okay. So the money generated from Measure W and the Safe Clean Water program is split between two pots. One is the municipal fund that's kind of allocated for each city within LA County, and a regional fund, which is a more competitive fund that's allocated for a watershed where cities and agencies can propose projects to receive funding. So this project, the Imperial Highway Green Infrastructure Project that I'm presenting today, will be put in an application for the regional fund to receive funding in the Safe Clean Water program. So the application has some scoring criteria to evaluate the project based on kind of these three main goals and objectives. The timeline that we're working with is here. We began developing a feasibility study earlier this year, and we've been coordinating with the City of LA, the City of Segundo, and LA World Airports, LAWA, on this project. We've gone to several committee and council meetings this month to garner support and feedback for the project. The deadline for the project is on July 31st. So we're working really hard to make sure that this project is as competitive as it can be, so it has a higher chance to receive funding. Going on to a little bit more on the timeline, after we submit the application, the project will be reviewed by scoring committees and steering committees. This process takes about a year or so, which means that if the project is awarded funding, the project will be in design in 2024 and will follow roughly a 4-year implementation period. What's critical for us right now in the application process is to educate key stakeholders like yourselves and to garner support for the project moving forward. We have created an online survey poll that we'll release at the end of this presentation, as well as links to optional letters of support. Having strong support from the community will make this project a really strong competitor in the application process. So going into the project overview, this the city of LA has partnered with the city of El Segundo and LA World Airports to kind of come up with this project to implement some improvements on the Imperial Highway median. This project is located directly south of the LAX airport between California Street and Vista del Mar. The proposed improvements in the median include vegetation and hedging, signage for pedestrian safety, stormwater features to alleviate flooding at key intersections, improvements to the bike lane. So we did some initial outreach to El Segundo and LAWA to get some feedback on the type of concerns that their residents or things that they have heard from the community. And these were some of the concerns that they had. It kind of goes from top to bottom, for the top being the kind of the most thing that they had the most concerns about, and it being the trash and invasive species in the median. There's an overall need for beautification. The pedestrian and bike lane could use some additional safety measures to ensure that bicyclists and pedestrians can safely cross the median. During rain events, there has been localized flooding near the intersections of Imperial Highway and Main Street. And then along the median, there's some lack of signage, directional signage to that kind of that will dissuade people from crossing through the median and using sidewalks. And finally, for the established trees in the area, we want to make sure that those trees are protected and are thriving. So this is the project layout for the entire area, starting from the top left down to the bottom right. It goes from Vista del Mar to California Street. So as you make your way through the median, you can see the improvements that we want to put in, such as improvements to the bike lane extension. We noticed that there was a section of the bike lane where it had kind of cut off, so we want to make improvements to make it a continuous bike lane. Throughout the median, we'll plan to put no crossing signage to encourage pedestrians to cross at the crosswalks. At key intersections, we're putting stormwater features such as dry wells to alleviate some of the flooding, and as well as a storm drain connection to address any high volume storms. Throughout the median, we also plan to have ballast wells and hedges throughout as landscape features, as well as, and finally, some directional signage to point vehicles that goes down Imperial Highway to either LAX facilities or the city of El Segundo. So here's a picture of an intersection with a before and a proposed after image. Here you can see the improvements that we plan to put in to the median, putting in the hedges, trees, and curb cuts for bioswales. And finally, kind of getting into more details on a little bit of the numbers of the improvements. We plan to put in about 30 new trees along the existing median, alongside the existing trees. We also want to put in about 2,000 square feet of ballast wells, kind of spaced strategically throughout the median as well, with native California landscaping. We want to, near the California intersection, we want to extend the median a little bit to incorporate 13,000 square feet of new median. And then with all of these trees and bioswales and native landscaping. We want to make sure that the irrigation system is up and running. There is an existing irrigation system in place, and we want to repair that and expand it and connect it to a recycled water system so that all the existing trees, new trees, and new landscape in the area will be properly maintained. The next improvement is the completion of the Imperial Highway bike trail to connect the bike trail and have a continuous bike trail all the way to Darkwater State Beach. And finally, we want to include some pedestrian crossings to kind of discourage crossing through the median and direct pedestrians to use the crosswalks. So as a recap, the deadline to submit our application for regional funding is July 31st. So we're really excited about this project, and we think that it will be a very competitive project applicant in the Safe Clean Water program. So if we are awarded funding, we plan to start design in 2024, where we'll be coming back to the community for design considerations. In order to be awarded funding, we need support for the project. So first we want to open up for some question and answers. And if you are in support of the project, there's multiple ways to help. You can offer written support in form of a letter of support, or vocal support through public comments at the various scoring and steering committees that will ultimately decide whether this project will get funding or not. If you want to learn more about the Safe Clean Water program, you can follow the links below at lacitysand.org, or give us an email. So with that, that kind of ends this presentation, and now we can open it up to any questions you may have, and please use the Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen to ask any questions you may have. So I have one.
Oh, go ahead. I was going to say we do have one question to go ahead and get started while everybody else is typing theirs in. So thank you, Jim, for this question. The 2,000 square feet of bioswales will be California native landscaping. Will the approximately 30 new trees also be California native?
Yes, we'll make sure that all the new landscaping throughout the median will be California native and drought tolerant. For the trees, for all the trees and landscaping and the design, we want to make sure that during the design phase, we go to the community and hear your feedback on the type of plants that you would like, and things like that. So we make sure that we get your community feedback for it.
Great. So this kind of goes hand in hand with that also. Question from Sam. Do you plan to involve native plant experts, such as California Native Plant Society, Theodore Payne, and more, to make sure the most appropriate and right native plants are used for this project?
Yes. During the design, we'll make sure that we get the appropriate review, and we have some great landscape architects in our team to make sure that we have the right plants.
All right, we have a question from Bonnie. Is the irrigation operational now? I've never seen any watering.
So this is one of the things that we got confirmation on. There is an irrigation system in the median currently. It is not operational. So as part of the project, we plan to repair that system and make it operational and properly maintain it so that it won't run into any problems in the future.
All right, we have another Question from Sam. Will you be contacting us when to support this project and provide details of what is needed?
Yes. Following this this presentation, we'll email all attendees with links to this presentation, as well as links to where they can find more information on the various scoring and steering committees. And on those sites, you can find out more information of when they plan to do their scoring and reviewing for the project, where you can come in and come in and put in a public comment regarding the project. Throughout, when this project, if it does get awarded funding and we go into design, we have a list of all the emails that has attended this presentation, so we'll make sure to provide any updates in the future.
All right, thanks, Kevin. We have a question here from Tom. I fully support this project, but how will the landscaping and bike lane bollards be maintained? Without regular maintenance, flexible bollards get ruined within months.
So that's part of the maintenance for the city in general. With these projects, we are applying for funding for the project and operating maintenance for all aspects of the project in the, moving forward for X amount of years. So as things get damaged, we'll make sure to come out and either replace or make sure that they are all maintained.
Right. Oh, here we have another question. Thank you, Bonnie. How optimistic are you about the funding? What do you think the odds are that it will be funded?
That's a good question. It's hard to say what the odds are for it being funded. We are very optimistic about this project because it is a multi-agency collaborative effort. We have us, the City of LA, and we're partnering with the City of El Segundo and LAX airports. So with this kind of a three-pronged partnership, this makes this project a very competitive already, but to make it, to kind of push it and make it the best project it can be, we're putting in a lot of effort on the support and outreach to the community and making sure that we have feedback from the community, and making sure that we have good representation for this project. But for now, I think we have a good chance of getting funding for the project.
All right, thank you, Tom, for this question. Please design this with little to no maintenance in mind, as it's not likely that this will be taken care of as much as we would all hope.
Yeah, the design for the project and the bioswales with the native landscaping, it's planned and operated to be low maintenance. With the plants, they are California native and drought tolerant, so low watering needs. They have low watering needs. But we'll make sure that LA Sanitation maintenance crews are there to pick up the trash in the median and making sure that the plants are trimmed back.
Thank you, everybody, for your questions. I'll give just one more minute in case anybody else is mid-typing. And then also, Kevin, do you want to put back up the screen with the email address so everyone can see it? If anybody does think of questions that you forgot to ask or other things come up, please feel free to reach out to us and we can get those answers for you. All right, I'm thinking that is it for questions. Thank you so much, everybody. And thank you, Kevin and Abby, for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate it. And we look forward to working with everyone as we hope to make this a reality. Thank you.